Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our, what is today, Thursday morning trading room. A few days into the week, I start to lose track what day it is. Just holding on to the weekend, I guess. Here's the NASDAQ. I see we've got a few new people in the room here this morning. Welcome. Let me give you a really quick overview of what you're looking at here. This is the diversified trading system along with the Raptor. So we've got the Hawk Scalper here in the top left, Falcon Swing Trader top right, Eagle Trend Trader here on the bottom left, and of course the Raptor on the bottom right. I'm following the NASDAQ on this particular monitor. I've also got the Russell and the E-mini open on my other monitor. Oh, and I've got the Euro US dollar pair as well for those of you interested in some of the Forex markets. I can pull up some of those for you. I was reviewing here yesterday's session before the open. Here, we'll take a look at the daily chart. It gives us a pretty good overview. So here's yesterday, just a very, very strong day. So that's suggestive that the buyers are in control, at least for the short term. This morning, however, you can see relative to where we left off, we're opening with a bit of a gap here to the upside. So we'll see whether they try to get into that gap or not. I said I was going to look at the first in-sync signal today, wasn't I? And it looks like it may have just tripped here, a buy signal on a not very attractive sideways congestion period. Pre-market was pretty quiet. And right now, actually, the market heading a little bit lower. Okay, while I'm waiting on that, I'm just going to take a quick look here at the reports calendar. Aha, that'll have something to do with it. We've got FOMC statement out today at around 3 p.m. Eastern. So that could really put the brakes on trading today. There's a lot of traders who will not trade days when the market is having an FOMC release. Okay, well, right now it looks as though we've got a relatively strong move lower. Oop, spoke too soon. They put the brakes on already. think I'm just going to give them a few minutes here. What you could do if you were looking to get into this market a little bit earlier is we've had a little sideways range like this. We've got the breakout. We can look now for the retest and the possible move back with trend. So as I mentioned yesterday, when you get that type of setup, you could just throw your order in below the low, because if this trend is going to continue, well, in fact, you could even do an OCO order. You could look to buy a move above. Here, let's see if they give me a chance to do that. So we're going to throw an OCO order in. We're going to short below here. We're going to buy above here. Because now we essentially have the market between a rock and a hard place, as they say. We've identified the congestion. We've seen the breakout. We've seen the retest. Is it going to continue lower, or is it going to reverse and head higher? Now, I'm not, as you know, I'm not a big fan of these early trades, but we'll see what goes on here. Now, this isn't foolproof, by the way, but there is a good indication at this point that the market may try to head higher because of this little sideways trading range we've identified. All right, let's see whether we get any follow through from this now, as traders attempt to break out the top end of the trading range. So here we are. Oh, I guess I should have left that up. So here we are now at the top end of the trading range we identified. So now the same thing is happening in reverse. All right, we got the break even. And I may go with the much more aggressive bar high low if I can ride out this swing. All right, there we go. So the bar high low strategy simply rolls your stops every time the market moves in your direction. Simple as that. Okay, not much in the way of follow through on that particular move. Well, good thing I did take my profit where I did. They would have backed up on me entirely. A little bit of beer money. Same thing we have going on now as we did with the sideways trading range here before. Right? We've got the breakout. We're looking for the retest. So, you know, once again, in theory, you could do the same thing. You could throw your buy order above here. You could throw your short order below here. This is starting to get a little dicier now, though. You don't want to do this too many times. All right, let me get a stop and play. Because what happens is the market starts to get a little bit stale, right? The whole point of breaking out of a sideways trading range is to break out. And if the breakout doesn't take, then the market's likely to go the other way. Well, it's only going to do that so many times before it's just going to settle into that sideways trading range, in which case you could get stuck. As with a lot of things trading related, the first opportunities are often the best. This is why, you know, we'll look at things like first micro macro cross signals, cloud crossover signals, trend change signals. They all tend to offer better opportunities because, hey, quite frankly, they've got a lot of early momentum coming in. And you can see even relative to what happened down here when the market took off, we're really struggling here a little bit, aren't we? I'm going to roll my break even up to this bar. In fact, I'm going to take it to break even right now. Stop it. Get to break even. There. Okay, so I've gone back to the bar high-low strategy. The big deal now, the bottom end of this trading range. Prices obviously rejected here the last time they came down. Are they going to break this time? If they do, we're going to stop out a lot of buyers, and that could give the market a little giddy up to the short side. Although it is FOMC day, isn't it? Oh, Antonio. All right, Antonio's asking here about, because yesterday we took this ATR filter that you see here on the Eagle, and I put it on the Raptor. Now you can put it on any of your tools, really. And as with anything that you add to your chart, as I keep trying to tell you, if it helps you make a trading decision, great, go ahead, keep it. Otherwise, get rid of it. But this is something that Mike Filigera put me onto, and I don't know why it's taking me this long to put it on the Raptor, but you can use it as a confluence filter. In other words, you're going to favor those signals that are in sync with your little ATR filter. So Antonio's asking, where do I find that? All right. Right click on your chart and go to your indicator panel. and you're going to scroll down here to these indicators that are labeled IW. The one you're looking for is this one, IW TM ATR trail. This is actually what your trade manager uses to plot the ATR stops. So if you double click on that, it will show up down here. The multiplier value by default is set at 2. That works fine for the Eagle, but I think it's a little bit too aggressive for the Raptor. If you set it to a value of 4, it will more closely replicate what's going on the Eagle. After that, you just apply and close it up, and you will have your ATR line on there. And you know, it's like I say, it's not 100%, but it does help to keep you on the right side of the market. As I mentioned with Mike Filigera, he trades it very aggressively. Like, he won't even wait for the band to come into sync. If he gets a signal which is in sync with the ATR, that's it. He's off and running. Mike likes to get into the trade early, so the earlier the better for him. Whether, like I said, whether it's against the trading band, as most of this morning's signals have been, you do still need to take a look at market context, because you can see here, even though, you know, the filter did keep you out of some potentially poor signals, even the ones that were in sync with the filter, not really having a whole lot in the way of follow through. So don't ignore the left side of your chart. For me personally, I do try to favor when we do get a proper signal. The overnight very, very thin last night. We should have had a signal right about here. But a signal like this one right here, where the band is in sync, this would be my trend change signal on the Eagle. That would be a viable trade. All right, looking as though the buyer's a little bit more serious here this morning. Oh, Antonio says, is it because I'm on Ninja 8? That could be, Antonio. Let me see what I can do about having it set up for Ninja 8. Yeah, Ray says, Eric, I also use the ADX indicator. It helps me when it shows going sideways. I will just set back and let it get back to trend. Yeah, and I do believe Floyd also likes to watch an ADX, and I think he does it on a 30-second chart, a really fast chart. That's, you know, that's the thing with the Raptor and the DTS systems, is they are robust enough that, you know, if you wanted to add something to the mix, it will certainly work. So here now the ADX that Ray's watching. The ADX, a very simple indicator. Non-directional, however, this is something that gets some people about the ADX. You can set the parameters. By default, it's at 25. I think if I remember right, Floyd on his 30-second chart was running it at around 20. And all this line does here is it tries to tell you when the market is trending. And again, it's non-directional. Excuse me. So you see here where prices were coming down, the ADX was still rising. It's telling you that, yes, there's a bit of a trend going on here. Yeah, no, it's great. Again, you know, if it helps you make a trading decision, and ADX, the nice thing that I know a lot of the reason people follow it is when it's down here below your threshold, you kind of know the market's not really going anywhere, right? Because it's stuck. But like I said, do try to be selective. I think somebody the other day was looking at RSI for divergences, or maybe it was MACD, not that it matters. Here, we don't have too much going on. Let's throw RSI on here. Where are you, RSI? Oop, I didn't do anything, did I? No, I didn't think so. Okay, so there's RSI. We'll get rid of the average line. I don't know why so many of the indicators default to green. It makes them hard to see. Okay, now this is going to be RSI. Nothing fancy here. And RSI is very, very good at picking up market divergences. And you can usually spot these visually. So what you're looking for is you're looking for a difference between price, what price is doing, and what the indicator is doing. And very often when you see this type of thing going on, it may be an early clue of a reversal. RSI is also, I found, I used it for a lot of years. You could draw these trend lines on RSI and they would help confirm signals. So here was a breakout, a trend line breakout. Oh, look at that. We get a number 3 signal at the same time. And then you could do the reverse, of course, where you draw like that, you get a breakout lower. Okay, well, there's no comparable signal with that. But like I said, please be careful, because this really is a rabbit hole that you can run down and never emerge from. Because if there's one absolute in trading, is whatever your indicator mix is, it will work until it doesn't work. They all fail sometimes. Something that a lot of people don't know is even these high frequency trading firms, you know, that run these super computers with these very sophisticated market algorithms, they'll burn them out in about a week, and they'll have to change them up. And they've got a room full of PhDs working on this stuff every single day. So if guys like that can't crack the market with all their technology and all their skill and all their education, why should you think you can do it? And when I say you, I mean me as well. By tweaking some settings on a stochastic indicator or an RSI indicator or whatever. No, the best we can do as the small traders is to identify the best opportunity and then capitalize that the best that we can. That means finding a trend, or if there is no trend, recognizing that there's no trend. And then B, picking your moment. Find that opportunity where the setup, here on the Raptor, it's going to very likely be one of our high probability signals. Like here's a number one signal that printed. Yeah, you took some heat on the trade, but it did go up and hit your profit objective. So look for your high probability signal, and then give yourself a reasonable stop. Those two things will do more for your trading success than just about anything else that you can do. Well, actually, those three things. Find a trend, find a high probability signal, leave a reasonable stop. If you're losing money trading, you're probably not doing those three things. You're probably doing something against that. So you're either not waiting for the high probability setup, or you're trying to trade in a sideways market, or you're jamming your stops in ultra tight and never giving the trade a chance. Now, your own particular personality does come into play in this equation as well. Some of you will remember me mentioning the name Tom Loge. He's a trading friend of mine. Tom loves ultra tight stops, and I mean he won't even risk that much. He'll risk like that much right there. And he'll be quick to roll his stops up to break even, or he'll take a lot of times he'll even take his $30 or $40 loss. And he's okay with that. But Tom will trade 10 times a day because this is how Tom is. This is what suits his personality. And I've said to him, I said, Tom, why wouldn't you just leave a $300 stop instead of getting stopped out 10 times a day for 30 bucks? Well, it doesn't work for him. So that will be a defining factor as well. What works for you? Yeah, see here, case in point. Steven says, I like my stops tight and I often pass on good trades if my stops will be too big, because that's what's working for Steven. That's what suits his personality. And, you know, I can get up here on my soapbox all day long and say, leave a reasonable stop, but that doesn't work for Steven. So, you know, that's one thing about trading is it is a very personal business, and you will learn more about yourself as a trader than just about any other job, using air quotes, job that you could do. And, you know, you're going to understand your tolerances for risk, for fear, um, how much heat you can handle comfortably. And I'm not saying any of these things in a negative connotation. We are what we are. You know, I've met some people. Funny thing is, the people who tend to be gamblers tend not to be very good traders. I'm just watching this number 3 signal here print, and I'm thinking maybe we're going to get a bullish break. Funny thing is, gamblers tend not to be very good traders. I've worked with people who are avid gamblers who will tell me their stories about going down to the casino and laying $2,000 on the craps table, and yet they'll be sweating a $300 trade. It's like, really? You're okay laying $2,000 on craps or blackjack, but you're not okay with a $300 risk exposure in a trade. And I've never quite figured it out. Maybe it's the boasting that comes along with gambling. Maybe it's the fact that as a gambler, you know you don't have control of the outcome anyhow. It is purely a game of chance. It's however the dice fall or however the cards come out. Whereas in trading, I suppose there is a certain degree of responsibility where this is your decision to take this trade, and if it doesn't work out, I suppose in some way they feel it reflects poorly on them. You should not think that way. We are making the decisions the best we can with the information available. And if it doesn't work, well, it doesn't work. Okay, I'm not liking this hesitation here. And if I don't get the break even here, I'm going to, okay, got the break even, good. I was going to say, if I don't get the break even here, I'm going to get a lot more aggressive with my stops and probably bring them to the faster hard edge. Maybe, just maybe, I was a little too quick. But it does seem to be that kind of day today. We saw a nice little bullish push here, but each leg going higher seems to be making less progress. And by that I mean, you see here, we're not really gaining much. Okay, we'll set that to the side for now. Try not to do anything too silly. What? Me? No. Oh, there's that ever tempting number 2 signal. Why? Why did we ever program that into the system? Yeah, this one's going to work out too. A little trip back here now to the hard edge. The hesitation of the market to go higher, you know, when you can see it's struggling. That's the nice thing about day trading is you can see how the bars are unfolding. Made that number 2 signal a little bit more inviting. While we're just kind of waiting here, don't know how many decent opportunities we're going to get today, but a reminder for those of you in the room, no trading room on Monday. I've got to head out of town over the weekend and I will not be back in time to do the trading room on Monday. So I will catch you guys again Tuesday. Oh, getting a first micro macro cross signal to sell. Oh, are we still kind of sideways here? Yeah, see? Just looking to the left side of your chart, you can see that we are in a bit of congestion. Had I taken the signal when it printed, I would be at my scalp target already. Now I'm a little bit late to the party, so I think I'll just leave that alone. We do get a trend change signal here in the Falcon, and we have a little something resembling a rule of 3 on the Eagle. I don't know if I want to try setting up a trade just yet or not. Give me a little bit of pushback there. Just a little bit. Oh, no. Got stuck talking and not trading. Well, we've moved down now to the profit target, so it's not unusual to expect a little bit of a reaction as we hit our high probability target. Are they going to continue lower from here? Oh, yes, they are. Antonio, oh no, sorry. I was thinking I had a solution for your Ninja 8 issue. No, forget that. All All right, a couple of decent swings, a swing higher, a little itty bitty move lower. Market a little in limbo. Antonio says, tell me, I'm all about creating solutions. No, I was just wondering whether the Ninja 8 had an ATR in the indicator assortment that you could use in the meantime. But I don't know if it plots the same or not. All right, a couple of decent signals here now. I kind of got stuck on my back foot watching these go by, but if we are heading lower from here, I should get another chance. We're getting close to that 7170 zone, which is where the market kind of picked up the rally. If you shoot a little trend line across here, you can see right about here, just before 7170, things started to get a little bit more bullish. So that's where I'm looking to see whether the buyers pick it up again. And if they do, I might consider a buy. If we kind of see some support around there, I may consider, well, it would be a number 2 signal here on the Raptor. That's probably going to be the only tool that's going to give me that early counter trend trade. Oh, I see. Antonio says it does as an oscillator. All right, well, after we close up the room here this morning, let me see what I can do about that. Okay, here we go. We're back at this support zone that we were watching, 7170. Oh, and we actually have a resistance line sitting 7168.5. I don't know, I may be trying to read too much into this, but let's see if we get that number 2 signal to buy, and I might give it a whirl. What's the trading band at? Oh, the trading band's 50 ticks broad. And I'll set a single contract on this. I don't want to get too crazy. And I will get ready with my oh, that won't do. And I'll get ready with my sell button because I probably, or pardon me, buy button. Get this straight, Eric. Because I probably won't have time to frame the order. See, they're thinking about it. The buyers are playing possum. They're hiding around there, trying to sneak in a little bit of a rally. Okay, here comes the retest now of the low. If we come back, we will have a number 2 signal print. And then, of course, if it blows out the bottom, it will keep going lower. I suppose it could have been another possible OCO. You could have short below here, you can buy above here. It's probably not too late for that. So the OCO, I'm going to buy above here. We'll see if they give me another swing or if I'm too late. I may be too late. So what I'm doing here is I'm essentially playing the support line, looking for possible rally off of the support based on my in-depth analysis of the market. Oh, and just in time with the number 2 signal. We'll bring the break even in a little as we react to that first hard edge. Now, ideally, the stops should stay below here to start. Come on, give me that swing, you stinkers. Oh, number 3 signal. That's the width trend signal. Come on, one more bar and I can start to roll my stops a little bit more. There we go. Come on, buyers. It's really last chance for the buyers. They gotta get their act together at this point. I could even go with a more aggressive stop. All right, there we go. Putting the squeeze on. Get up there. All right, I'm going to force the trade to break even. There we go. See if they can get to the bigger hard edge or if they're going to flinch and stop me out. Now, if I were smart, I would probably take profit on target here, but I'm wondering whether or not they'll run it back up here around this 7,200 zone. Well, they did. Ran it back to the hard edge. Gave a little bit of a flinch. It's going to be that kind of day. Stephen asking, I don't know why you didn't go short at 71.82. Probably because I was too late. Yes, I was. No, I was all over. I would be all over shorting that, and I'm not saying that because I know how the trade worked out. This was a very good signal. We saw the market struggle getting higher. We saw the brisk move lower. We got the number one signal. I was just caught looking the other way. So I missed out on that ride. But no, you're right, that was a good signal. Sometimes I got a few too many things here to watch. Getting another sideways style trading range. Or maybe not, maybe it's a bear flag. In which case, we've seen the breakout lower. Stephen writes a bit of a funny comment here because I did the same thing. Stephen says, between you and me, Eric, it's such a killer day yesterday that I went to Costco after the market closed and blew a couple hundred on stuff. That's funny. That's not hard to do, of course. Not in that store. All right, here again with that number two signal, we do have a little bit more of a, well, it's building to be a sideways trading range. Maybe we'll wait it out. See if we get a breakout from here, if the breakout's going to hold or if the breakout's going to fail. Just park that in the corner for now. Trading band rather thin. once again, going back to the whole idea of market context. Oh, actually, this one doesn't look so bad. It looks more like a downtrend. I thought we were going to see more choppiness here on the hawk. Might give the buyers one more chance. Okay, a little bit of a flinch at the top end of the trading range, which is to be anticipated, I suppose. Okay, well, we did see, or we just saw, a little bit of a higher swing relative to this. This is very aggressive on my part now, folks, but I am going to look at buying the breakout higher. And as the market breaks as I say that. All right. This is also forming up to be an early cloud crossover signal. So here on your Raptor, the cloud's not fully crossed yet, but like 90% of the way there, or certainly 75% of the way there. We've got the warning though. We don't have a complete signal yet. I'm kind of building this trade in anticipation of that. Here's a very weak break. Let's see whether the buyers can recover it now before it drifts all the way back here. As I mentioned before, if you think you've spotted a sideways trading range, you could immediately set your buy order. If you want to do the OCO again, you could set your buy order, and well, you could throw your sell order below the bottom end to start anyway. And just look for a continuation now. Or not. I'm debating bringing my entry in a little bit tighter. But maybe I'll just leave well enough alone. See here on the Raptor, we're starting to get the trading bands into a little bit of a twist. I'll actually close this order. The more attractive option right now does appear to be on the Eagle. As we get closer toward the report, the FOMC release, I expect the market to get even quieter still. And then, of course, when the minutes are released, the dying minutes of the market, there's very likely to be a monster move. Okay, Bulls, let's see what you got. All right, pardon, they got filled and slippage was not too terrible. Now, where were we sitting? Yeah, I figured we had about $100 in profit there. If I were smart, I would take that. I'm going to look to see if they're going to get back up here towards 7,200. I know that's asking a lot, but hey, that's how I roll. Stinkers. Oh well. My fault. Trade forecaster says, hey, Eric, you're in scalp mode. Take your profit when you have it, man. Following up now with a couple of signals, a late filter entry signal here on the Falcon, a number one signal on the Raptor. A macro pullback signal and a first macro cross here in the Hawk, both of which reaching their profit objectives. So, and we have a second push opportunity on our Raptor and Falcon signals. And it looks like they're pulling away from there now, so we'll cancel that. Yeah, Paul says, I spent the last couple of days on Ninja 8 and like several of the changes available in the Logi counter, now has a line on the price, which is very helpful visually. Yeah, we're almost there. In fact, I'll be making the migration myself very soon, just because we've had, well, just so much demand for Ninja 8 that pretty much I have to. Well, I don't know if I really want to try this number 3 signal that's printing here. I suppose. Oh, here, I'll throw my order in above the high. Oh, blew way past me by the time I got that set up. Les is asking about Trade Manager for Ninja 8. Folks, I wish I had an answer for you. No word of a lie, I answer this question at least a half a dozen times a day. Where it sits right now is totally out of my control. It's in the hands of the programmer. He keeps blaming changes and updates to Ninja 8. That makes it, or has made it, impossible for him to reprogram it. And quite, I'll call a spade here. He, quite frankly, just keeps lying to me. He told me it would be ready by the end of last month. Obviously, it wasn't. He's telling me it'll be available by the end of next week, but I don't expect it. I know that's not what you want to hear. It is getting worked on, but I'm not a programmer, so I have to more or less take him at his word, and I'm finding out that his word is not all that good. But we are working on alternate solutions. And yeah, that's the Trade Manager soap opera right now. Honestly, the longer I'm dealing with him, the more I'm starting to believe that it may not be programmable for Ninja 8. I hate to say it, but I am exploring all opportunities. I'm looking at other programmers to write the code, but it's such a sophisticated piece of software. Oh, okay. Well, thanks, Floyd. I appreciate it here. Floyd says he's telling the truth. I have a tool by another company, and they have even more problems than you guys. All right. Well, maybe I won't call him a liar then. Yeah, Mark says I can hear your frustration. Well, I feel bad, for you guys. You've invested, money in the software. We're looking to get you trading solutions, and here we're kind of held hostage because Ninja chose to upgrade their charting software. All right, let's see if we can find one more opportunity here this morning. Oh, that very well may have been the test of the extreme right there. I didn't get quite as high as I thought. I thought maybe they'd get up to 7,200. No, maybe we won't get another opportunity. I have a feeling, ladies and gents, that they are just going to keep moving sideways here. Well, thank you everyone here for your kind words. I'm getting a lot of encouragement here from everybody in the room, and I do appreciate that. Robert says, Eric, Ninja 8 is not going to make that big of a difference in your trading results. No, that's true. Most of the Ninja upgrades have been cosmetic. I think they did streamline some of the code though, which has been a bit of a stumbling block, or the stumbling block. Robert says indicator warehouse IT is no different than any other corporate IT. It will come in time. He's not lying. The truth keeps changing. I'm happy with Ninja 7 and we'll switch when you do. Yeah, Mark says you may have to start over from the ground up, and that's what he's been doing. He's had to rewrite the code from scratch for Ninja 8. All right, well, I won't give him such a hard time then. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Mark, maybe you can shoot me an email with some of that information. Mark offering some alternatives here, and I can follow up on that. All right, I thought we were going to get actually a bit of a move to the upside off that number 3 signal. Now it looks like the market's folded over on itself and we're getting short signals again. Honestly, I think we're going to do we're going to see the market just continue sideways here right now, especially if we get another little uptick. Now that we're here on the bottom end of the trading range. Yeah, Frank says programming is not easy. I've done programs for Ninja. It is a more robust programming language, which is one reason you won't see things like the Raptor or the DTS system on MetaTrader, because it's just not, the programming language is too awkward to handle all the computations in a timely manner. Now we're getting the rejection here off of the lows. All right, gang, you know what? I think we're going to button up shop here just a few minutes early. I do have an appointment in the city, so I'll hit the road a little bit earlier here this morning. If you're going to hang out the rest of the day, I think you're going to see the market trade within this range until the FOMC minutes come out. So I think, you know, you can look for buying opportunities, buy signals off of the bottom end, sell signals off the top end. You won't get them so much here on the Eagle, but, you know, here's a buy signal on the Falcon. You could just take your arbitrary buy signals and pop them in, and definitely go all in, all out on target. I don't think we're going to see any monster moves here. Try to avoid trading when the market gets around this too close to the 71.80 area. It's going to be relatively neutral at that point. Oh, they did bring me in. Am I going to get a little winner here to finish off the morning? I think I'm going to bring my stops in a little bit more. In fact, you could even shoot a trend line like this. Steven's got me drawing trend lines all over the place now. You could manage your trade more aggressively via that trend line, but I'm going to hold it just below this swing and the support zone right here. And I will bring my break even up. Hopefully we'll get a bullish bar. Les is asking, Ninja 7 won't disappear anytime soon, will it? No, no, sir. Not for a long, long time. Ninja 8 is just the default version right now. Ninja 7 is the more stable. Come on, give me one more bull bar. There we go. So I can roll my stops up. Got the break even and... Oh, don't stop. There we go. You can do it. You know, protect a little bit more profit, at least a scalper's profit. Yeah, well, that's all I'm going to get. All right, gang. It's probably going to continue higher. I was just a little bit too quick with my stops. I didn't feel like giving them too much more on that trade, but there they go. There they go. They would have made it. All right, everyone. Be careful out there. It is tough trading today. I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.